welcome to Two Stone Bastards.
Welcome to Two Stone Bastards. Today we're going to be talking about The Little Shop of Horrors and Plan 9 from Outer Space. I'm Dungeon Dan Ubol. With me is Jeff Thompson.
And we may or may not be allegedly stoned, depending on whether or not it's legal in your state. It's legal in mine, so yes, I am stoned.
It's not in mine, but I'm probably stoned too, maybe.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. There's no concrete proof.
None whatsoever. So yes, these are two movies best watched when stoned. There are plenty of others, but these are the first two we're going to start with.
All right, which one do you want to go with first? Little Shop?
Little Shop of Horrors sounds like a good idea.
Yeah. I watched this again just last night.
So did I.
So before we even get started, I've got to admit something. I've never heard of Roger Corman until the 80s, when all the low budget effects laden movies were coming out from Roger Corman. So when I started looking up some real data about this movie, I was shocked that Roger Corman was making these films back then. And I got to admit, as low budget as it was, I mean, I think they spent like 28 grand, but it was actually decent.
And well, the best part of it is they shot this thing. Principal photography lasted a day and a half.
No shit.
No shit. They did all the interior. They did all the interiors in a day and a half. And then they shot the exteriors.
Wow. What didn't they? Weren't they shooting that on a set from a previous movie? What was it? Bucket of Blood, I think. Remember that gas bag movie?
Wasn't Bucket of Blood? It may have been. I don't remember.
I think it was. I mean, obviously it looked different. You know, they took out a lot of the stuff and put the flower shop in, but you notice how sparse the flower shop was. Well, yeah, I guess that was on purpose though, because they weren't making any money.
Yeah, they're in the Bronx.
Yeah, I think they're in the Bronx. God, every character is just a cliche. I think that makes the movie really good.
Oh yeah.
But in general, for all the new people that have never seen this film, this is about a little flower shop, and the employee. Damn, I have smoked too much. What's his fucking name?
Seymour.
Fiji
Seymour
Seymour.
Krelborn.
Yeah, he's like a botanist. What do you want to say? That's his hobby, and he winds up creating this flower, and it gets a lot of attention, and people are starting to come into the store. And of course, the flower grows into something that needs a certain type of food source. That's about the time the movie starts going sideways. But it's chock full of some of the funniest stuff, some of the stupidest stuff. You got two idiot detectives. You got Dick Miller, who I'm not even sure what his character is, but he's always there, and you just can never see enough of that guy on screen.
Eating daffodils.
Eating flowers, buying them, and then just eating them like he's having a snack.
Yeah, pulls salt out of his jacket. Yeah.
Did you notice he throughout the film, and it's not a long one, but he's always had like a different salt shaker, something different with salt in it.
I didn't notice that, but you could be right.
I'm hoping I'm right. I was a little stoned when I watched it last night, but it looked to me like one time he had like something round, then he had one that was a little flatter, then I think he had just like fingers and just throws it on there and eats it. Do you think he was eating the real flour?
He must be doing something. They didn't have it. I mean, this thing was ultra low budget.
Which means he's the only one that got fed on the set.
Probably.
Except for the flour, the man eating flour.
And of course, it's noted that I'm not sure if this was the very first appearance of Jack Nicholson on film, but I think this was his first speaking role.
I think you're right on that. And God, did he not do like a wonderful job?
Oh yes, as the masochistic dental patient.
Yeah, even when he sat down to read the magazine while I was waiting for Seymour to get ready, who, by the way, is obviously not a dentist, but is just thrown into that, things go wrong, and that's what he's doing. But even just reading the magazine, the way he was reading it, it's just like he took so much pleasure in everything painful. I was amazed at how well he did.
You can see right there, he had something.
Yeah.
Roger Corman was the progenitor of who knows how many big stars, including Jack Nicholson, Stallone, who was in Death Race 2000.
Another schlocky movie.
Oh, yes.
Ron Howard.
Ron Howard.
I think in today's who's who of Hollywood, everybody's got the one thing in common that they started out on a Roger Corman film.
It's possible.
And a lot of the makeup artists
James
started.
Cameron got his start there.
Mm-hmm.
So did Martin Scorsese.
It's kind of funny to think of all these big names and realize that at some point they were just that young guy trying to get his break.
And Roger Corman gave it to them.
Yep. So Roger Corman is the grandfather of everybody. But getting back to...
I don't think he ever lost money on a movie. Ever.
Well, when you shoot that low, how can you?
True.
And he's putting this stuff out in movie theaters. Now, granted, film back in that day was a lot different. The rules were different. Didn't have so many hands trying to dictate what you're doing. I've heard stories from other people that worked for him. It says, guy just gave me a lot of money. Said, go make the film. That's all the money you're getting. So figure it out. And they did.
Yeah, Corman once said he could create the Roman Legion with 3 guys in a push.
He could.
And he could.
Well, he understands camera frame. He knows you only have to put so much in, and everybody's brain's just going to assume there's 30,000 people behind those 3 guys.
Yeah,
those are just the scouts,
right?
And one of the things that I've noticed on other Corman plus this one, back in the day, one of the easiest ways to make a film was you shoot little segments with your actors, and then you go to stock photography.
Oh yeah.
Plan 9 was famous for that. We'll get to that later. But Little Shop was straight on. It was almost like you were at a theater watching a play. Everything was right there. Everything happened. Everything was choreographed really well.
Well, yeah, you didn't do ordinarily when you're shooting a movie. It's wide shot, cover, over the shoulder, done.
Right.
That's how it's done. I think they were like 90% wide shots.
Most of it was wide shots.
Yeah, you lock the camera down, go for it, guys.
Right. You're going to come here, deliver this line, then you're going to move over here because that person's stepping through. It's just watching a dance. And it's brilliant filmmaking. It really is. It's one of the charms.
It is funny. Oh my God.
Some of the lines, the shop owner, had some of the best lines.
Oh yeah,
and a horrible accent.
Mushnick.
Mushnick. Exactly. God, you remember names way better when you're stoned than I do.
Well, I've watched it 47,000 times.
I've seen it maybe 5. And it's been at least 15, 20 years since I watched it, from last night to, going to past. But I'm glad I watched it again.
I've never seen the musical. I never.
No,
really
me either.
It.
I did see the remake. And first off, I'm not really a musicals fan, but the remake movie with Rick Moranis and Steve Martin.
Yeah.
I liked some of the numbers. Steve Martin had a great little song that he sang, but in general, I thought that kind of took away. Now that I've seen the original again, I'm like, boy, this is night and day. And if you want to watch the movie, just go for the 1956.
Yeah.
Or 1960.
1960.
1960.
And there's no music.
Nope.
You've got the incidental music in the background. Like
right.
Whatever the tune is when Seymour is walking through the streets of the Bronx.
It's just some happy-go-lucky.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So if you don't mind, let's go into some of the actors. Let's start with Seymour. What was his name? What's the actor's name? Do you remember?
No clue. Jack
Nicholson's I can look it
the only one, and
Jack Nicholson's he stole the show. Okay, I just before I go into some of the other actors, Jack Nicholson. What blew me away was the part where he's sitting in the chair and he's getting some teeth drilled and he's screaming, and then Seymour goes, "Okay, you're done." He goes, "Aren't you gonna pull any teeth?" And he's all like, "No," and he goes, "Come on," and he leans back.
You want to.
You want to. He wants to. But those are the kind of things that make a movie good. The character Seymour, the actor, I almost felt like I was watching Jerry Lewis. He had some of Jerry Lewis's qualities, especially the way he delivered some of the lines. And, everybody had big emotional stuff on their face. You didn't even have to hear the lines. You could just tell, oh, he's depressed because, he's like, oh, I don't have any money, Audrey. Audrey was cool. She was actually pretty hot.
So deadpan bitchy.
Yeah. And you see, the thing is let's go to the remake. That Audrey, she was working to be that way. This Audrey was just like, that's her.
Yeah.
I'm believing it.
And the hypochondriac mother.
Oh, jeez. That was, for back in the day, that was the theme of all mothers, through their son's eyes who, are still living with them to take care of them. That is the mother. Oh, I got this. I got that. I checked. The doctor says this. And then they compare notes with other people.
Yeah, exactly. Who knows? With a scene where where he gives her the medicine, the bottled medicine.
Yeah.
It's good for arthritis, neuralgia, the common cold.
Everything.
Diphtheria.
It'll mend a broken foot. It's that one, you just take this and you're like, perfect. And Seymour fell a lot. I guess that's another reason he always reminded me of Jerry Lewis. He was always falling on his ass. Mm-hmm. Even the medicine scene. Or when his mom's like, you stay away from that Audrey girl. She's going to take you away from your sick mother. Pulls his hand away and falls. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, and the way that people kept dying around him.
It was ridiculous. Okay, how did he kill the guy in the train yard? Accidentally hit him with a rock or something?
Or a bottle or something.
Yeah, it just out of nowhere kills the poor guy. He's like, food for the plant.
Yeah.
Keep on call the plant
Audrey
Seymour.
Jr.
Audrey Jr. Thank you. So.
Yeah. There's just so many gems in this movie. And there's none of the frills. There's none of the, big Hollywood
Right.
bullshit. It's just a straightforward, funny as hell comedy.
The chase scene when they're trying to chase him, that is epic. Kind of almost Keystone Copish.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And it went on a long time. I'm like, yeah, these guys got to be tired from all this running. The two idiot detectives were so deadpan that it was hilarious to watch them.
Yeah, they were trying to do Joe Friday.
Yeah, I got that.
Dragnet.
Yeah.
A real bad Dragnet.
Yeah. Yeah, the drag of Dragnet. Seymour's mother tells the one detective he's got some type of disease, and he just goes, And then his partner's like, you should go to a doctor and have that checked. He goes, yes, I agree. And that was the end of it. I'm like,
yeah. And then one of their brother dies. Yeah, those are the breaks.
Yeah. Yeah, his brother's kid dies. He's all like, well, that's why you don't play with matches. I guess a kid burns up. And it's a joke that it's not through the whole movie, but it'll show up in a few different scenes as the whole matches and,
Well, yeah, because there's that one character, the lady, that comes in the shop every day. Oh, my second cousin, twice removed on my grandmother's side's brother's friend, died. So I need flowers.
Yeah, and it happens to be the detective's niece or nephew.
Something.
Yeah. And then she's all like, oh, I'm sorry for your loss. He goes, It's just, yeah, it's just so flat. And it's all part of the charm.
Yes, absolutely. But yes, it's great watching it straight. It's even better when you're stoned.
Yeah. Highly recommend 1960s Little Shop of Horrors.
Yes, indeed.
It's a quick watch. It's not a long movie.
Nope, but it'll stay with you.
You'll talk about it, and all your young friends are going, what the fuck are you talking about? Never heard of it. Plant-eating people? Wow, really?
Feed me.
Feed me, Seymour.
Feed me. Feed me.
And of course, Ditzy Audrey thinks it's Seymour saying it. I'm like, really?
I thought you weren't hungry.
Yeah.
I'm hungry.
And breaks up with him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can be serious, Seymour. I don't want to talk to you. I'm like, fucking plant.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, you know what? We already did spoilers. I did get the nice payoff of the buds opening up in front of the flower lady. The one that's giving the trophy,
right?
And everybody's faces there looking. And I think, I think when Seymour's popped up, it's like, I'm sorry, or I didn't mean to, or something like that.
Yeah, I didn't mean to.
Yeah, it's a good ending. It really is.
Oh, it is.
The remake had
to end.
Yeah, see, and they ended it. Like on the remake, after all the singing's done, you see everybody's got an Audrey Jr. plant, and they're going to take over the world. I'm kind of like, I didn't really like that. Should have just done. Seymour's dead. That's it. Plant's dead.
One of Roger Corman's dictums was, when the monster's dead, the movie's over.
It's a good way to go.
Yes.
I mean, unless you have a story that's like, we can definitely continue this. So we're going to leave a cliffhanger at the end of part 1, and then we're going to do a part 2. But they didn't really do part 2 back then. It's a one and done. There's your movie.
One and done, yeah.
Now we're going to go shoot some robots.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Exactly.
Simple stuff.
Exactly.
The old way of filming. It's just so different. Now you've got 15
Back
people
in
on
the
set.
old days. Get off my lawn, you bastards.
Oh boy. Well, that's a good, huh?
That's a good place to stop.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a good segue into our next movie.
Plan 9 from
outer space. And this is a movie you like, right?
Oh yeah.
I don't really like it. I figured, I haven't seen this for years. Let's, go ahead and watch it so I have something to talk about on the show. And I'm like, no, this is just so bad. Yes, it's total Ed Wood, but I don't know.
Yeah, well, it's called, he is called the worst director ever. Ed Wood. It's called the worst director ever. There's that movie that came out a few years ago. That's like the worst movie ever.
Well, that's about all of them for me.
Yeah. But that one they made such a big deal about, you know what I'm talking about, right?
I'm trying to think because they've made a huge deal about 3 movies I thought were complete shit.
Well, no, this one they came right out and said this is the worst movie ever made. And they made a movie about the fact that it was the worst movie ever made.
What the hell is that movie then? Sounds like a perfect comedy.
But it's not.
No.
It's not. Well, here's a good example. They made another movie called Plan 9.
Yes.
Which was just a few years ago. And they basically used the original script, which was horrible writing. And then they added a few bits, some boobies.
They added boobs.
Yeah, senseless nudity, which I'm
Love
always,
it. Love it.
I mean, they didn't have any Japanese schoolgirls, but
can't have everything.
You know.
I actually like the remake Plan 9 more than I like the original. And I didn't really care for that 100% either.
Well, yeah, I mean, the remake took itself seriously. The thing that makes Plan 9 from Outer Space, the original, so funny, in my opinion, is the gleeful incompetence with which they shot that thing. Ed Wood, when they made the movie, Ed Wood, with Johnny Depp. Yeah. That I think they caught that, his exuberance.
Oh yeah, it's no doubt Ed Wood was all about his films. Very happy, very proud. But he was enthusiastically incompetent. He was. He couldn't direct this way out of a wet paper bag. No. And this is the movie, like many movies from back then, that uses a lot of stock footage to make what he shot look real. So you've got 2 pilots sitting in the cockpit of an airplane. Have you ever seen a cockpit that fucking wide in your life? I haven't. But obviously he just put some curtains and something behind to make it look like he's in an airplane. 2 guys in it.
And I love the instruments. It's like a steering wheel.
Yeah.
On a wooden pole with like a wooden triangle. That's what it is.
And then you cut it with shots of an airplane taking off or landing or whatever you need.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about worst set design, that's got to go to the spaceship. the interior spaceship that did make me laugh. Because he literally just went out, grabbed every piece of electronics he could and stacked them up and then plugged in whatever would work so he could get some type of lights. None of it made any sense.
No.
And even the actors just walking over there, turning a dial, flipping his switches. And I swear at one point, the guy even kind of looked over his shoulder like, is this it? But again, he's utilizing what he can with no money. But yeah, he failed.
Completely.
So everybody that I talk to about Plan 9 always just talk about, oh yeah, that one had Bela Lugosi. How did he ever get him? He didn't. That was footage from a film that he was trying to do before Lugosi died. Right. And he spliced it into Plan 9 from Outer Space, which, when you're watching the movie, I'm like, how the fuck do vampires fit into this? Because Bela Lugosi was doing his vampire thing, walking around with his cape up like this through half the movie. And I'm just like, I don't see how this is going.
Well,
but
that happened because Bela Lugosi died.
Right.
Of a drug overdose.
Which is why he could use the footage.
And it ended up being Ed Wood's dentist or something. Who looked
for the cape?
Who had the same basic body that Lugosi did. But that's it.
Yeah.
So
that's it. So you got the slick black hair and not even all of the eyes, just like half. And the guy would just walk around all the time like this, and you're like, what the hell? But that's how he gets Bela Lugosi in it.
Right.
Dialogue is atrocious. I didn't even know what the hell was going on most of the movie. Because it's like you got this graveyard everybody's running around in. You got dead guy Tor Johnson rising from the dead, who I guess that was the police commissioner. Yep, there's Tor.
You got Johnson and Vampira.
Vampira's there. And you don't find out till a little later what the whole thing is about. And even then, I had to go and read about it, going, oh, that makes more sense.
Well, yeah, the movie doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't.
No.
I don't think it's supposed to. But yeah, the dialogue, well, just the screenplay itself was atrocious. But there's that one scene where the pilot and his wife are outside on their porch, and a UFO goes by. And they do this by flashing lights and
overacting. Whoa.
Yeah. And then there's this great, Jesus Christ, I'm having issues.
Smoke a little more weed, you'll be fine.
2 or 3 more joints, everything will be great.
Yep.
Yeah, there's this.
I snorted.
So this thing goes by, and the wife is going, well, the aliens are over there, the cemetery's over there, we're over there, and then we go over here, and then there's there, and it goes on for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It's you have to say the word there 14 times.
Yeah. Well, of course, Ed Wood wrote this, produced it, directed it, edited it.
Yeah,
that's how he does it cheap. Did everything.
Well, yeah, but that's how Robert Rodriguez does it.
Yeah, but he's good.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah. Well, by the way, we're gonna have to do Planet Terror. We have to do a show on that.
Well, we've got to do Robert Rodriguez.
Well, I don't really do men, so you can do them and I'll watch.
Fuck off. I mean, Planet Terror, Faculty. You've got From Dusk Till Dawn.
Dusk Till Dawn. Love that one.
Great. I mean, he produced Predators, the one that takes place on another planet.
Desperado, originally.
Desperado. El Mariachi.
Yeah, that was the original title.
Yeah, I read a book that he wrote called Rebel Without a Crew.
That's a great title.
About how he made that movie and the way he financed it. He sold his body for scientific experiments.
I've heard that. That's true.
Did. He spent like 30 days or 2 months or something like that doing some kind of drug test. And that's how he financed the movie.
That's dedication.
That's some Roger Corman shit there, man.
Yep. Everybody go give plasma. Bring the money back.
Yes. But anyway, I mean, Plan 9. And this is when you definitely have to watch Stoned.
This is an edibles movie.
Oh, yeah. Well,
you want to be on an edible for this one.
Stoned with Friends. It's one of those, it's like Killer Clowns from Outer Space. You want to watch that movie. You want to watch that movie with friends.
Hell yeah.
Rocky Horror.
Yep.
You want to watch that motherfucker with an audience.
Yep. All right. Favorite scene from Plan 9. I know mine. It's actually not the favorite scene. It's the scene that irked me the most, but it's the one that sticks out in my mind.
I would have to go on the ship when the lead alien is telling them how stupid they are.
Oh my God. It's the same scene. Damn, Jeff, I like pizza. It'd be weird if you like pizza too.
Oh shit.
Continue though.
But yeah, it's like, you're stupid. You're just stupid. Ah. It's just horrible overacting.
Yeah. And then the crowning moment of that whole scene, after he's telling us how juvenile we are, and the girl starts talking and she's getting into it and she's pointing out some scientific shit. What happens? He reverts right back to animal, grabs her, throws her back and says, on my planet, we don't allow women to do that. And I'm like, oh my God. You just proved how superior you are, and you just came back to our level.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good writing there, Ed.
Yeah. But there are some gems like Tor Johnson, who was a professional wrestler.
Yeah. Back when it was real.
Well, it wasn't real.
Well, it was more real. People really got hurt.
Yeah. Well, they used to cut themselves. They would take like a razor blade and cut their foreheads.
Yeah, so they could bleed.
Yeah. Insane. But yeah, he could barely speak English. There's a scene where he's trying to crawl out of the grave.
Yeah.
He gets stuck.
He got stuck. All the dirt was starting to fall off of him. He's like, And
then you've got the headstones in the background wobbling.
Yeah. Poor guy. It was funny. He's been in other Ed Wood movies, Tor.
Yeah.
Wasn't he in
I think so.
Ed Wood did this one movie. It's like absolutely terrible, but the box art is awesome. Orgy of the Vampires, Orgy of the Graveyard, something like that.
Like that.
I picked it up just because of the cover. I'm all like, ooh, we got something scary with boobies. No boobies, nothing scary, and scratched my head just going, I don't even know what the fuck this is.
Yeah. Well, that's
Orgy
how they
of the
used
Damned.
to. That's they originally sold the movies based on the title.
Mm-hmm.
Then they showed it based on the poster. Yes.
So if you can't make a movie, learn how to draw. Do the posters. Make a lot of money.
Yes. Well, then they started doing it on the trailer. And it's like, Well, doing a poster, you got like the one for The Fog. John Carpenter's The Fog shows Jamie Lee Curtis right up front as if she's starring in the thing, and she really isn't.
Right.
You've got posters that would declare, John Wayne's in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
he was in the background. Yeah, I saw him.
Yeah. For like 3 seconds.
See, I miss the old posters. The drawn, artists paint these things out. It's like, like this one. You have to put a whole movie into a poster. How are you going to do that? Looking at this poster for Plan 9, that's something I would find kind of interesting, especially as a teenager. Mm-hmm. And right there with Bela Lugosi, even though he was already dead.
Yeah.
You see that great set piece back there behind the scientist or the alien, which is just one big block of some type of electronic measuring device. Mm-hmm. But it's an art, and we don't do that anymore.
No, we don't.
They make some pretty cool posters, but to me, they never stack up. One of the things I like about the movie Stephen King's The Mist was the main character at the beginning of the movie is finishing up doing a movie poster. That's what he does for a living. And it just takes me back. It's like, God, all those great posters. Phantasm had a great poster.
Yes, it did.
All of them did.
But just that image of the sphere with the things coming out of it.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah. Live in different times, my friend.
Yes, we do. You young whippersnappers wouldn't understand.
When we went to the movies, we had to walk uphill both ways. Stupid shit.
In the snow, backwards. And
with no shoes.
No shoes. And we liked it.
And we did it every weekend.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
But anyway, this was our very first Two Stone Bastard. We will absolutely take suggestions for movies that we should add our particular
spin,
possibly enhanced, maybe.
Always enhanced.
Yeah, well, okay.
Yeah. Tell us what you thought. Put some comments down there for us. Let us know if you like the show, what you think would make it better or not.
So until next time, folks, we are Two Stone Bastards and a bucket of popcorn.
Oh, yeah, popcorn. I'm hungry.
Shit. I got the munchies now. Fuck. All right.
All right.
Later,
bye.
folks.